disgusting. And as Chibi Reviews here points out, it has been an eye-opening experience to see how many people lack a moral compass. People on
I never would have thought in a million years I would see my post or just my name, not just in a Rev video, but in an Asmongold video. I've been following Asmongold for a very long time, watching his videos since basically when he almost pretty much started, like watching his Warcraft videos. And to think I finally appeared in one of his videos. Obviously, I wish there could have been better circumstances, but it is still, in a way, it's wild. It blows me away that I've actually appeared in a video. When I opened up this video today and I saw this, I was just like, oh my goodness. And then I saw a lot of people like posting on this tweet, etc. that I made. Yeah. So, let's just, guys, let's get into it. Let's just dive headfirst into this. So, I know I'm an anime YouTuber, and I even made a statement on this literally days ago that I've gotten just so much heat for. Basically, ever since July 13th, when the whole assassination, this attempted assassination of Trump happened, you know, everybody on the entire internet has been talking about it. And it's continuously been an ongoing topic. Even Asmongold's been talking about it. You have Rev talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. But, you know, you have people that are not even, let's say, like, they don't talk politically at all in their channels. They have been kind of discussing it to some degree. Because it's pretty big. It's a really crazy thing that happened, and it's just like, as someone that lives in the United States, it's like, holy crap, I can't believe this is real, so to speak. Like, literally, there was an attempted assassination on a former president. And, basically, I made a statement, as you could see here, a few days ago, talking about how everybody should be condemning an attempted assassination. Advocating for violence, advocating for just, like, death of someone else is never okay. I completely do not like that, and basically, I knew I was playing with fire at the time, because obviously I made such a very controversial statement, technically, for Twitter, on the platform of Twitter. And so, obviously, I knew I was going to get, you know, heat, a lot of hate, basically saying, oh, I'm a crazy, radical, right-wing person, or whatever, but I was just like, look, I don't care whoever you vote for, I don't care which side you're on, I don't care about your beliefs, I legitimately don't, but you should never advocate for someone's death in political violence. I think that you've automatically lost any form of argument, you've automatically lost any form of discussion when you have to resort to violence of that degree. And so basically, I made that public statement saying that, and people obviously, you know, here's one of the tweets that people have sent me, basically comparing Trump to Hitler, as you can see here, and there's multiple stuff. You go in the quote retweets and you just search for it and stuff, you'll see people basically calling me either a Nazi, they'll be calling me some form of, like, crazy right-winged, like, Trump supporter, all sorts of stuff, and it's like, it's just crazy, because me picking a neutral statement, like, I think this statement I made is neutral as it can get, and, like, even this post as well, but somehow I'm a crazy person for it. Now, to be fair, in the past few days, there has been a lot of people speaking out about how people actively wanting to see political violence and just death of another person, you know, people have been just straight up condemning that. And I'm very happy to see people just straight up saying, no, this is not normal. Let's not normalize the fact that, you know, we want to see someone die or something. I'm very, very happy that people have been basically shutting that down, saying, no, we're not allowing you guys to say this is not right, this is not okay. And I'm so glad that Rev and Asmongold throughout this video and what they've been saying with videos, they pretty much have the exact same standpoint as me in terms of how I feel about the entire situation. Like, for instance, in this video, Asmongold talks about, like, he understands why some people would think maybe the situation of, like, the whole like, you know, the actual assassination attempt could be theoretically fake, why some might think that, why some might not think that. He brings it up. He understands why people can feel a certain way, but he's just like, at the same time, you shouldn't justify, you know, political violence, etc. And I love this video in its entirety, and I'm so happy to see some support that backs my arguments of what I said. Because, like I said, I made a very generic, neutral statement. It's as neutral as it honestly can get, even with this right here. And it's just like, the amount of people that have come after me in the past few days, people that have unfollowed me, blocked me, etc., is just insane. And it's just like, the amount of crazy individuals that have been outspoken and wanting violence is insane. Like, this video even talks about like VTubers basically advocating for him and trying to, like, backtrack quickly, just saying, oh, it's just a joke. You have community managers for gaming companies and stuff, like ambassadors or brand ambassadors or whatever. They're, making statements that are obviously very, very messed up and very evil, honestly, in my opinion. And then you got stuff like, people... You have individuals like Nick here that's, like, saying stuff about, like, guns and stuff, like, when it comes to, like, Halo and all this type of stuff, and making comments about the whole assassination attempt. It's just, there's a lot of stuff throughout this video that boils my blood a little bit when I was just reading it. Like, this Halo statement really boiled my blood. And then you have VTubers, and then people trying to say, like, oh, this is, Trump is gonna take away women's rights, all sorts of stuff. And it's absolutely crazy. It is legitimately just some crazy stuff throughout this video, and it's just like, in these last 50 or so hours, I would say 60 hours at this point, of just, like, time, it has been one of the most eye-opening time periods for me as someone that remains very neutral. I've always known that Twitter is a very toxic place. There's a lot of crazy, terminally online people that cannot separate fiction from reality. I'm very well aware of this, and I've come to accept that. There's no way you can argue or even make them agree with you because of just how deep in the hole they are with just their online, like, just problems they have. I'm not even going to touch that argument right now. The point is just to see the fact that there's more people now being outspoken and trying to condemn these very radical thoughts makes me very happy, because I feel like everything that's happened in the last 60 or so hours, ever since, like, July 13th, has caused a lot of people that don't care about either side, left or right, just straight up say, no, this is not okay, and I'm glad to see that. I really am. But it also has shown just really, like, what people really are, like certain VTubers, etc., certain actors, politicians, etc., brand ambassadors, what people they really are underneath everything, and it is just extremely gross behavior. Like this whole thing with Pepper here, to the stuff with, like, Tricky or whatever, that was a few days ago. I know Rev made a video on, Asmongold's obviously been covering this quite a bit and stuff, and it's just like, you have even stuff with the localizers and just how they like, to change subtitles or the description of anime for what they want for their political agenda, all, kind of chiming in on this and basically saying it was okay to go after Trump. There's just so much crazy stuff that's happened, and it's just like, this spans way beyond, like, obviously just my channel's content. I know this video that I'm making is probably going to get some backlash. I'm fully aware of that. I'm fully aware that, people are going to be upset that I dare even talk about this subject, because at the end of the day, I know I'm an anime channel. But at the same time, the events that's going on is just, it's so beyond just, let's say, anime, because it's like a shift in culture itself, or just, I guess, not, that's not the right word. It is a shift in just how people perceive things, I guess. Hopefully I'm saying the right word, or I'm conveying that point properly. But it's just like seeing more people, like, just trying to shut these very crazy things down makes me happy. And like I said, I'm glad people like Rev and Asmongold have a platform to be able to speak out about this, because it's just like, more people should be aware of just how gross some of these people are, and just like, this is not okay. You should never do this. And here's the thing, okay? I agree with pretty much most of these points throughout this video and what's been said, honestly. There's not really many things I disagree with. I don't always agree with Asmongold. I don't always agree with Rev in every little detail, but I will say that they have been pretty honest and very upfront about everything. And that gets into what I'm saying, is that I know, like I said, I'm going to get heat for this video, but I wanted to be blunt here, is that I condemn assassinations. And I know that's generic, guys. I know that is a very cold take. It should be a cold take, but for some reason it's very clear it's not, since there's just been so many actors that have tried to glorify it and make it seem like it's a-okay, like Mark Hamill and all that, and all sorts of other people, to the stuff with, like, Tenacious D and stuff. It's like, but clearly my take is, I don't know if it's a cold or hot take, but, like, yeah, I think political violence and assassination attempts are just no. It goes against everything that the USA stands for. It's completely against it. And as I said already, and I want to reinstate this, I don't care what side you're on. If this would have happened to Biden, I would have said the exact same thing. There is no way in any reality I think it is A-okay to do what happened to Trump. And I don't care if that happened to Biden, I would have the same statement. I would be like, I condemn this. This is not okay. It goes to both. It goes to every politician. It goes to all of that. I don't think it's okay because the point of our government itself is straight up for voting someone in. If you don't like them, you vote them out. It is, elections are a big part of it. And it's all about basically just, democracy itself. And when you circumvent that and you use violence to win, you automatically lose. That's my statement. So, like I said, I cannot believe I had to make a video on this, but I have been getting nonstop heat since literally I made that post. And this is just one of the very few things, and it's just like, oh man, what a reality we're in, honestly. But like I said, I'm happy to be in an Asmongold video. I just wish it would have been better circumstances. I really wish it would have been. But yeah, I guess that's it. I mean, I know I pretty much said what I already said in text form, but I'm just going to reinstate what I said. If people want to hate me, if people want to unfollow me, if people want to block me, if people want to not associate with me because I condemn assassinations, okay, I don't want you here. Simple as that. I don't. Because it's like, I don't want to normalize in my community that it's okay to do that. Just going to be completely blunt. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. I'll leave it at that.